Hello and welcome back for another tea time with me, Amanda Prochaska. I actually am back to my water bottle today. It's not overly fun, but we have a very important topic to be talking about today, and that is bringing in what we lovingly call Project Sherpas on your digital transformation journey. Why you might need one, the benefits of having one on your team as you're going through a digital transformation. You definitely do not want to do it alone and only with a system integrator. So let's talk more about this today. So grab your favorite drink, maybe one that's better than mine, and we will go ahead and get started. All right. Back to my water bottle. I'm actually drinking just a water drink that's flavored with some berry flavoring today because I've been extremely thirsty lately. It's starting to get warm here in Las Vegas, so watering up, hydrating is always the best thing. But I hope you have a drink of choice. And let's dive into this particular topic of what we call at Wonder Services Project Sherpas. So you might be thinking, okay, what does that exactly mean? Typically, when you're going through a digital transformation, you have a couple of different parties involved. You have your internal parties, which could consist of kind of your functional area, your IT department, maybe some master data teams, maybe a little bit into legal and HR, depending on what you're doing. So other functional areas within your company. And then you have usually a consulting firm who comes in, who is a system integrator, largely focused on getting your technology up and running, doing the configurations, the designs, and the integrations, testing, etc. So what is a Project Sherpa? A Project Sherpa is going to be someone that has deep experience in digital transformations and someone that's going to help you, quote unquote, radically change your organization, which means transformation. Sometimes we kick around the word transformation so often that people forget that transformation at the root of it all is considered a radical change. So is a technology implementation alone going to radically change your organization? Likely not. It is going to be an enabler of that change, but it's not going to be the whole change. So if you think about this Project Sherpa, they are going to be the one guiding you up the mountain because they've been through this. They also have worked with a lot of the system integrators before. They've worked with the technologies before, so they can call out when maybe things are not being overly transparent. They can help you with asking the right questions along the way to get to the right answers. They can help you also with things outside of the technology, like policies and process, especially those processes that are integrated or adjacent to the technology related processes. You need to be thinking about what those look like. You can also leverage these Project Sherpas for organizational changes and other needs in that realm. So that's what we're talking about here. Someone that can come in to be kind of that liaison between the project teams and the SI to really help broaden your scope, but then also making sure that you can accelerate what you're doing, or at least have a little less lessons learned along the way. Maybe you can use the Sherpa to guide you up the appropriate path versus veering off the path. So we do this type of work at Wonder Services, and we've learned, 6 different areas in which this is super helpful for organizations to have this type of role on their transformation teams. So I'm going to go through all 6 with you so you can kind of see the benefits of this, and then we'll wrap it up from there. So the first one is neutrality and objective guidance. Okay, so what we have found through doing these digital transformations is that there's always kind of a behind the scenes alliance going on. You have your system integrators who have very, very strong relationships with the system that you're deploying as part of your digital transformation. You also have, obviously, your technology relationship with that provider, but there's a very strong relationship there. And it sometimes forms into maybe not being overly objective about the feedback that they are giving because of that relationship. So a Project Sherpa has deep expertise in the technology, but there's maybe not that alliance there. So they can speak more of the truth or being very objective, neutral party involved. So there's also benefit for you internally. Sometimes it's great to have a third party come in that has a new perspective on things. They can see it from a different angle, and that's where a Project Sherpa can come in. So that neutrality is so important to be able to give objective advice and feedback. There's no concern about change orders or impacting a relationship with the tech provider, etc. So that, number one, is a benefit that we have seen, neutrality and objective guidance. Number two, we have Project Sherpas, at least on our team, have a very diverse background in cross-platform expertise. As technologies become very, very integrated with each other, yes, you might be focused on let's just say a procure-to-pay platform implementation or source-through-pay, or whatever you might be doing as your core platform. Our Project Sherpas can see a little bit of a broader picture to say, yes, you're doing that right now, but you might in the future, or have it on your continuous roadmap, see this as layering on technology in the future. So we also can see, we know where the holes are within these technologies, where maybe it's a better use of your money to invest in versus maybe not so great of an investment for your money. So we can bring that expertise to the table to really craft a bigger picture around your implementation to truly help you be successful. All right, the next one, number 3, is holistic transformation management. And this is actually part of the reason why I started Wonder Services 6 years ago, is because I saw my system integrators, who were wonderful, by the way. There's nothing wrong with those integrators out there today. They do a fantastic job of what they've been scoped to do. A lot of their effort has been around the design, the process design as it relates to the technology. Then they do a great job at configuration, and then they do a great job at integration and testing. Okay. Now, some of them will go broader than that, so I'm speaking in generalities right now, but that's where I was seeing most consistently across the industry. And so as a transformation, I saw that I still needed to work on the other adjacent processes. I needed to work on policy. I needed to think about the org design to support this implementation. I needed to think about how I was measuring my people differently and what those metrics might be. I had to do a ton of data cleanup on my own to get that done. And I needed to assess my culture to understand how culturally we were shifting the game and build those behaviors into my leadership team and how we were going to act moving forward. And then I leaned on my system integrator to do the technology-centric stuff, okay? That's a lot. And when I did this on my own, I realized I actually needed someone to help me broaden that transformation out. Now, for me, I actually had someone on my team who I leaned on, but so often you might not have that resource available, or they don't have the breadth of expertise that you need within an organization. So this is where the Project Sherpa comes in to really lead that entire program versus just the SI's focus on the technology. This is one of the top reasons why so many companies are not getting the ROI on their digital transformations, is because they're very focused on the technology and the rest of the transformation does not come along. So don't do that to yourself. I know there's a lot of investment going into your system integrator, into the technology itself, but these other factors are just as important to create that radical change that you're looking for. Okay. Number 5, I'm going to take a drink of water. Like I said, I am so thirsty these days, but actually I skipped over number 4. So we're going to go back to number 4. Number 4, risk mitigation. And everyone wants to mitigate risk on a large transformation like that. You want to win. Project Sherpas, I told you, they're kind of like a guide. Like if you think about an actual Sherpa, they're telling you how to get up or showing you how to get up the mountain and carrying the load with you or for you. So when I think about risk management and in this role, it's really about helping steer teams in the right direction. We do not want you to take a left turn and fall off the cliff. There are so many choices teams are making that could completely change the trajectory of your ROI. I'll give you an example of something that just happened. One of our clients was talking about end-to-end visibility being one of the driving factors of their implementation, and they really wanted to accomplish that. It was key to everything that they were doing. In fact, it was built into their vision. Then during design, they started talking about maybe not having certain aspects of the process in the technology itself. From a technology standpoint, that's fine. From an SI standpoint, could also be fine, right? Like the system's going to work, they're going to get some benefit from it, but overall objective of the radical change was to have end-to-end visibility. So we came in and said, timeout team, like could work, fantastic, could work from a process standpoint too, but is it really getting to you to that end goal of where you want to be from this transformation? And then all of a sudden they realized what was happening and how they were veering off of the path. And so we were able to pull them back in and refocus on what we wanted to accomplish. So we made some different decisions and got to a point that's working for everyone. So that is the type of stuff that we're talking about. It's not like risk on a RAID log, right? It's risk to the program and meeting your objectives. We can help you stay on the path so that you actually achieve your goals at the end of the day. So that's number 4. Now to number 5. Number 5 is customized methodology and approach. Now, sometimes customization is a great thing. Sometimes it's not so great of a thing, but I will tell you when it comes to transformation playbook, a lot of consulting firms have, this is my playbook because it's repetitive. It's easy to train people that have never done it before. Totally get it. Makes sense from a business model standpoint. But when I think about a transformation, it's really more complicated than that. Everyone has a different starting point. Everyone has different objectives. And so to me, it's less of a playbook and more of levers that we can pull. So I already talked about the 8 different areas that we can cover as Project Sherpas. You can pull each of those at different times to truly create a transformation experience. I like to give the example of, now I work in procurement. That's where a lot of our work happens. Not to say that that's the only place that we work, but this is another procurement example where someone wanted to go through and have a no PO, no pay process. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, the first place that we should start, lever number 1, is policy. Let's create a no PO, no pay policy. And they were like, nope, not going to happen. It's like, cool. Why? And they said, policies don't fly here culturally. It's like an act of God to get a policy in place. So then we turn to lever number 2. I live in Vegas, so this is a lever, I guess, pulling on a slot machine. But lever number 2 is process controls. So we then looked at, and this had nothing to do with the technology, right? We then looked at the process controls and said, okay, if we have an invoice come in that doesn't have a purchase order reference, what do we do? And we created a control there to make sure that they truly had a no PO, no pay, quote unquote policy, but process more so than anything. So that is a customized methodology and approach, right? We have the levers that we know that we can pull, but which ones are we going to pull for your organization might change based off of where you're starting from and where you're trying to go. So that is number 5. Number 6 is capability building. So there's not a lot of work that happens to actually build the capability of your organization through just a traditional technology implementation and SI model. Okay. So when a Project Sherpa comes in, they're working more closely with your team, the broader team, on the broader picture so that they can help the team think through how are they going to sustain this new way of working. because it's not just a technology. How are we going to embed these new ways of working into our organization, and who's really going to lead that moving forward, and do they have the capability to do that, and can we help them? So instead of maybe us doing the work, we're guiding that individual to build their muscle so that they can truly maintain and hopefully grow upon the transformation that has been going on. So it's a super important, often overlooked aspect of any transformation is, do you have people at the end of the day that can move it forward, that can take the ball and say, I'm going to advance this now to the 20-yard line from go live. What does that look like for you? And a Project Sherpa can craft that approach and can also help implement the approach with your team. So those are the 6 benefits that we've been seeing with our clients around using a Project Sherpa on their team to help advance their digital transformation journey and create that radical change within their organizations. So that is the concept. I hope that's insightful for you. You don't have to come to us. We would love to work with you. But if you have someone on your team, if you know of someone else, that is great. We just want to champion you being successful in your digital transformation journeys. And this is one way that has helped several leaders be successful in their implementations by bringing in someone like a Project Sherpa. So I hope that's helpful for you to do today. I am Amanda Prochaska. I am the Chief Wonder Officer of Wonder Services. And we love bringing these videos to you because everyone that's going through a transformation, a major change, it is hard. And we can learn from each other and be better because of it, and maybe even move a little bit faster. So if you liked this video today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and we will be bringing more content like this to you about every week. So looking forward to it, and cheers. Till next time.